Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Cosmos with Robin. Let me know if you're here. We're having some issues with weather and power today in Seattle, Washington. So, welcome to Coffee and Cosmos with Robin. Good Monday morning here on the west coast of the United States, where we are snowbound, unusually for us. And wherever you're chiming in around the world, let me know that you're here. So today I want to talk about what I'm calling the energies of 2019, what that means for us, and just give you some ideas on how we can look at the energies of 2019. I will talk about this more in my radio show this afternoon at 2 p.m. at ohmtimes.com radio, the practical intuitive. But let's get started today. I want to invite you to join me in a quick grounding exercise with the Crystal Fallon, conversation about the energies of 2019, whatever questions or comments you may have on that. And I'd also like to take a few quick questions for quick intuitive readings. Judy, hi, down there in California where you're out of the Seattle blizzard, so to speak. So welcome everyone to Coffee and Cosmos with Robin. My name is Robin Fritz. I'm an intuitive and spiritual consultant and a certified past life regression specialist. I'm based in Seattle, Washington. And let's get started with a quick grounding meditation or grounding exercise with the Crystal Fallon. So Fallon, that's his name. That he chose. He's citrine Lemurian quartz, which if you've joined us either on my radio show or here on Facebook Live, you are familiar with his very powerful and loving energies. So take a deep breath wherever you are today and join us. This is a community humanity healing and Ohm Times have created for us to be together wherever we are in the world. So as you gaze at Fallon and connect with him however your intuition works most strongly. So you may see pictures, hear him chat, feel his energy, or just know that you're connected with him. And think about 2019, the movement that we've seen in the world and what those energies are and how we can handle them. And we'll talk about that. So as you take your attention to the top of your head, just think that we are here in community connecting mind, body, and spirit, helping us dig deeper into our lives as souls and bodies. And just as you breathe down from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet and back up again, just feel the cares of the day washing away and feel yourself getting grounded and balanced here in this space as you work with these energies. So just breathe down, top of your face, all the way down to your feet. Back up again. Settling into your chair, relaxing, feeling the connection of love in this community around the world. Feeling those energies just help you feel more grounded and balanced, more here in the world. Connecting to earth, to air, to fire, to water, to spirit. Awesome, right? Feels great. So today I want to chat briefly about energies. I'm going to scroll through here. Lorraine, hi. Tracy, Wyoming. Reno, Florida, England. Awesome. Houston, Texas. Thank you all for chiming in for wherever you are. And note that I would like to take a couple quick readings for people, or if you have a question about what I'm talking about here, please chime in as well. And you are also welcome to call into my radio show this afternoon and chat with us there. But the subject of the energies of 2019 is a subject I was going to talk about back in January, but one thing led to another, and that day I was unable to go live or do my radio show. So let's talk about 2019. You know, you look around everywhere and you see people who are intuitive and spiritual consultants like me, however they describe their work. And they talk about energies a lot. And sometimes that feels like it's really, what does that mean? How does that apply to my daily life? And, that's really what we're all about, right? Learning to navigate in the world, learning to recognize that our souls are eternal and we're having this experience as humans, which I frequently think is really, really hard job being a human in the world, because we have so many thoughts going on in our heads all the time. And we're always thinking past and future and what's going on. And it makes it sometimes hard for us to just get grounded in the present. But so when you're talking about energies, a lot of people talk about astrology or numerology or any disciplines like that. And I don't practice those disciplines. I admire the people who spend a lot of time learning about them, sharing them with their clients, sharing them in webinars. And I just say whatever works for you. My interest is in helping people claim their power, because that's somehow something that we seem to have given up or walked away from or not really thinking about, and understandable because we're really busy every single day, right? So, but I know from working with the dead, from working with the living, from my own life, where I didn't value myself enough, where I didn't really love myself enough, that learning to claim my power, to be my best self, to accept myself when I make mistakes, and to be happy when I do something right. And that's, I think, where we should all be. The problem, as I see it, is things are changing on our planet. And we know that. We can see that. People are responding to the strange energies, and that's what I may call the chaotic energies of 2019, where the changes that we've seen around the world are coming to a head. And here's our chance as a community to do something about that. So it's why I'm both intrigued and concerned by what I call the energies of 2019. Because 2019 is a make it or break it year for us on the planet. And I don't mean that the world is ending. I don't mean that we're going to have a big war or, that earthquakes are going to destroy the planet. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about the way forward through the chaos that we humans have created for ourselves, and how that's coming to a head. And we're seeing that. We're seeing that here in the United States, where people can't seem to have a conversation about their differences. We see that in the United Kingdom over leaving the European Union. We see that in mass migrations of people from one country to another. We see it in the concern over, warming, if they say warming of the planet, or limited resources, or where are we going to have water, or how are we going to have food to feed everyone. These are all things that we've dealt with before in our past as humans. And these are things that we'll deal with coming up. But I have some ideas about how we can deal with them right now, right here in 2019. And as I said, I'll talk more about that in my show, because it's not something you can talk about in 5 or 10 minutes. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on that and see what you feel like. We see all kinds of people saying, well, that's not the right way to talk, or we see hatred and we see bigotry. But really, we all know, especially here in this community, we all know that even energies come down to two things: the choice between love and fear. And this is the year to choose one of those and to stick to that, and therefore to grow our souls in whatever is coming with us. Because as I'm seeing it, as I'm talking with Fallon and other beings that I work with, as I'm observing the world around us, this is the year where we can draw a line in the sand and say, I choose love. And I choose love for this particular reason. And for now, let's talk about what fear is. Fear is really anything that causes you to be less than you really are. lacking self-respect, lacking self-love, failing to see the good in yourself and other people around you in the world. And it's easy for us. We worry about our jobs. We've certainly seen that in the United States over the past few months. We're worried about, in Seattle today, people are worried about the weather because, hello, you can't get around here on icy roads, snow-packed roads, because we just don't have that happen very often. And, that's kind of funny for us. And yet people are losing some income for the day, not being able to work or whatever. But when we're looking at even our everyday lives, how do we choose between love and fear? And I hold myself as an example of someone who struggled with that. And I think it's a daily issue for all of us, is choosing to love ourselves regardless, choosing to love people around us regardless. That doesn't mean we can't stand up for who we are and what we believe in the world, but talking to others as we would want them to chat with us. And if we're still disagreeing, say, well, we agreed to disagree. But we accept ourselves and our imperfections and our limitations, because we know we're always a work in progress, right? And that's what matters, is starting out our day and living the day and then living the year with that choice to love ourselves and to love the world around us, regardless of the imperfections. And so what are the little things that we can do every day that really make a big difference? And one of those is starting out every morning with a gratitude practice. And I know a lot of people talk about that. And I know you roll your eyes and oh, Robin, what is gratitude? But it makes a difference. So, and it can be funny, right? This morning I woke up and I looked outside and I said to my dog, let's be grateful that we have blizzard-like conditions in Seattle very rarely. And in your 3.5 years, this is your first experience. So let's stomp through the ice and you do your thing and we'll go back inside and have breakfast. So I'm grateful that we don't have weather like the East Coast of the United States all winter long or even every winter. But we're also grateful for the people in our lives that call us up and say hello, for a friendly nod at the grocery store, for all of those things. And when you get into the practice of even having to laugh at being grateful because you're sick with the flu or there's a really serious crisis going on in your family or the country, and you can say, yes, I'm grateful that I can observe or experience this, and then move beyond it, that it moves beyond me. And I know this was hard for me because I don't know if I've shared with you, I've been handicapped for many years, very ill for many years, couldn't work for many years. And some days I was grateful just to see a seagull land on the building next door and know that the world continues to go on. So really developing a sense of humor is important too. And remembering that we're more than our bodies and our problems, but we're souls, and we've had other experiences in other lifetimes, and we're continuing to grow in this, and looking at every opportunity to be our best. So remembering here, as a kind of summarize, in the energies of 2019, things are chaotic. There are huge decisions to be made in the world. And the one that we can all make is to choose love over fear. To choose love means we help energy flow smoothly. So we make even the difficulties easier for us to bear. It makes the joyful times happier for us. And it really helps us move through it. Whenever you say, well, I made a mistake and I'm really bad, and you're not bad. You made a mistake. I make mistakes all the time. And I learn from them, or I try to. And when I repeat those mistakes, I'm like, okay, I meant to learn from that. And then you move on. Does that make sense? Let me just kind of scroll through to see if there are questions here, if I can scroll through. Zimbabwe, great. Thank you for joining us. Anita, Dubai, upstate New York. Awesome. Cool. Hello from Terry in Washington State. Okay, joining us in snow, I assume. Rosa, you felt great. You needed the grounding. Awesome. Letting go of that anxiety, that heavy feeling in your stomach. Great. That is perfect. Fallon is a rare, very rare power crystal. And I'm glad that you can feel those energies and accept them. That's what we're here for each week. So I'm so happy to see that comment from you, Rosa. Thank you, Cheryl, for saying you love these sessions. Judy from Durban, South Africa. Wow, I just sent a book to Durban. Cool. Sherry, thank you again. And Kareem, is that right, from Iraq and Syria? Oh my gosh, our friends in the Middle East, we're sending you our love and support. As I know, it's sometimes difficult, but what beautiful countries. And really, where civilization started, ancient civilization. And, those of us in the United States, if we don't get to travel or if we don't at least watch shows on television or in the news or documentaries, we don't really appreciate how old civilization really is. Here in Seattle, Washington, where I live, people have been here, 1800s. I mean, that's it. We don't go back very far. And East Coast of the United States goes back a little bit more. But I remember being in Europe and being in the church 1,000 years old. Those of you who live in old countries where you have ancient healing sites, or churches were built on ancient power centers, congregate in those places, feel those energies, offer them love and support from one soul to another, and then check back with us and let us know how that's going for you. So in summary today, just want to share, not to scare you, but to share that we're in chaotic times. People will say, well, yeah, we chose to be here, and we did. And I would love for everything to be perfect for us all the time. But when tough times come, remember that you didn't cause this for yourself. Things happen. And we can grow and learn from those. And we can learn from other people disagreeing with us. And we can learn and really experience the wonderful energies of coming together in community like this today. So I want to share with you some grounding crystals. Grounding and balancing. Grounding crystals are generally black, okay? Because I guess grounding is black. I don't know. They just happen to generally be black. And very important for helping us be stable and to be moving forward with tough times, even with the overall energies that work through a country. Even if, like in the United States, you're not that involved politically, you're still feeling the push and pull of people with different political ideas. And I sought out grounding crystals, especially when I started consciously working with the planet, working with large energies like hurricanes and volcanoes, even snowstorms like we're having here in Seattle today. And realizing that humans are part of this larger complex of a planet of equals and a mindset that I'll talk more about on my show this afternoon. And so I sought out grounding crystals. And the first I want to share with you is one I've shared before, columbite. This is a beautiful crystal, just naturally shaped like an opening rose. But I want to just pause here and have you gaze at this and just invite the grounding energies of this crystal in. And I know that you can feel it however your intuition works, but you can feel this really, it's like a thunk of really solid lead in the palm of my hand. It's only that big. I love it. To me, it's the most powerful grounding and protection crystal out there. It helps you, connect not just to the earth, because grounding isn't connecting to the earth, right? It's connecting to the earth, to air, to water, to fire, to spirit, and all of the elements. And that really will help funk you back. And I use that in every client session to start with, to help them get grounded and balanced in the space and then to show them how their intuition works so they can help themselves through good times and hard times. Another one that I haven't shared before is Lemurian jade. Look it up. It's really good for working with energy, another grounding crystal. And then this is rainbow obsidian. And I know you can't really see it very well here on the video, but look them up. Lemurian jade, like Lemuria, the ancient civilization. Lemurian jade and rainbow obsidian or obsidian of any kind. I caution you on the use of obsidian. Sometimes if people are in real crisis, obsidian can really unbalance you because it's extremely powerful. So experiment with them, and you can experiment just by looking at a book of crystals and flipping through them and spending a time. And if you're feeling like that energy isn't quite compatible with you, then move on to another one that is during your exploration of crystals. I love crystals. They're both beautiful. They have power. They're very friendly. They love to chat with us. And so you can learn a lot from them. And you can also just have these beautiful pieces of nature's art around you, reminding you that there's more to the world than us humans. And it's fascinating and it's wonderful. So I want to thank you for joining me today. And I want to invite you to join me at my radio show this afternoon, ohmtimes.com, my podcast, The Practical Intuitive Mind, Body, Spirit for the Real World. It airs at 2 Pacific time. That's 5 Eastern time. I'm sorry, I have no idea what time that is in South Africa or Iraq or Iran. I know that it's like 10 o'clock in Great Britain because I've had guests on from London recently and they stayed up till 10 o'clock at night to come live on my show. But you can always listen to it in the archives. I'll be dealing more about mindset, how we connect to the planet, and how that affects energies. But for now, just remember, energy flows with love. And love is what you get here in this community from each other, from me, from Fallon, from the people who created humanity, healing in own times for us. So if you enjoy these broadcasts, please go to the Own Times page or like the Humanity Healings page and all of the pages Own Times offers you on Facebook. Like my page, The Practical Intuitive Robin M. Fritz. And if you're interested in working with me, go to my website, robinfritz.com. That's ROBYNFRITZ.com. It's here in the comments. I offer personal and business intuition, mediumship, connecting you with your deceased human or animal beloveds, space clearing, past life and between life regression, a process I call soul progression clearing, which I've talked about before and we'll talk about again, just clearing out blockages that may even have been from previous lifetimes with no judgment and moving forward with healthy energy. I'm here to serve you. It is my honor to be here every week. And or as often as I can, depending on what happens. And thank you for joining us today. So let's get grounded back into our bodies, sometimes connecting with Fallon here, sometimes connecting with Fallon opens up our crown chakra and makes us a little lightheaded. So if you're feeling lightheaded, let's just get grounded back in our bodies and end today. Take a deep breath, just breathe in healthy energy. And this is our year. This is our year to be our best selves, to choose love over fear, to choose community, to choose being here together. Thank you for being here today. I will see you next week. Again, join me this afternoon at my show. If you're shy and don't want to call in, just send me a note on my page, The Practical Intuitive. Every once in a while, I gather up questions and do a show on that. So thank you for joining me today. We'll see you next week. Take care.